On this week's show, Jeff Johnston visits the 50th National Truck Inn in Sterling, Colorado. He shows us some of the unique vans and RVs he found at the event. Then, we check back with Evanne Schmarder in our RV kitchen as she shows us some nice space-saving cookware and prepares a unique, healthy Indian dish made with yellow peas. Later, Jeff Johnston explains the on-the-road safety checks he performs when out traveling the country. Everyone knows that dogs just love to chew and try eating most anything, and that could be dangerous. This week on Paws on Board, Dr. Fitz explains what you should do if your dog ingests anything poisonous. These stories plus our big Go Power Kickoff Spring Contest on this week's RVing Today TV. Closed and Spanish captioning where available is sponsored by Trail Manor, one of the world's lightest and easiest towing travel trailers.
RV owners are lucky people. They can use their RVs to help pursue their hobbies and special interests in comfort and style. Many of the people building custom vans, known as vanners, include living facilities in their vehicles. They range from basic car camping styles to more elaborate Class B RV motorhome setups with complete comfort and convenience amenities.
And so it's fully set up for camping or for living in. I've been there as long as 3.5 months at a time, but it's got a refrigerator, it's got running water, an induction cooktop, it's got 10 gallons of water storage under the bed, a 200 amp hour lithium battery, air conditioning. Like, it's really comfortable for me to be in here.
Attendees at the recent 50th Annual National Truck Inn, the biggest gathering of vanners in the U.S., arrived in a variety of custom and camper-style vans. The Logan County, Colorado Fairgrounds hosted close to 700 custom vans of all types. Regardless of how well a custom van is equipped for camping comfort, times change. People get older and want more amenities. Children and grandchildren come along, and the idea of spending days in the confines of a van becomes less appealing for some. Many of those individuals start towing an RV to the events, like the Nationals, so they can have both their on-site comfort and their custom rig to enjoy. In addition to the fun parts of the weekend, like the custom van show and the nighttime Bright and Shine showcase, we toured the event and chatted with several RV-owning vanners to learn how the use of an RV improved their enjoyment of the hobby.
We basically bought this smaller version because I pull it with a 55 Chevy panel, and it gives us a little room to have, we can sleep in there comfortably due to inclement weather and stuff. We do a lot of car shows, and if we're out of town, we can set up camp. Don't have to worry about getting hotel rooms. Yes, I mean, it will sleep 4 of us. It does have the heating and air conditioning in it. All the comforts at home.
I started vanning in 1983, and that was a while ago. And what we found as we got a little older was we really loved the comfort of a camper or an RV so that we could really relax throughout the week. And it has a lot more room than a van does to live in for a week. So we love ours. This is a Cougar. It's a 5th wheel. Usually we pull our own camper with our van. But this year we decided to rent a camper, and it's just been wonderful staying in this for the whole week.
Well, we pretty much started buying it when we started doing a lot of the Nationals and hosting the Nationals and working the Nationals. Then it became we need a more comfortable space to get out of the weather, to rest and relax. So that kind of is where it started, but we started with a pop-up. And we brought another pop-up, and then we graduated up to two trailers before we got this one. So we've kind of just gradually got larger trailers for the most part. So, well, it's very comfortable, so we can cook and shower and clean and everything and dress in there rather than trying to do it in a van, pretty much. So that's really the benefits, really, the comforts of home.
Rock hounding, bird watching, custom cars, hiking, regardless of your hobby, an RV can help you enjoy it all that much more. For more information, log on to our website at rvingtoday.tv.
How many RV roof coating systems do away with having to constantly inspect and recaulk your roof? Okay. How many RV roof coating systems come with a lifetime transferable warranty? The answer is 1. Flex Armor. Visit RVroof.com to learn more about this virtually indestructible maintenance-free roof system and to find an authorized Flex Armor facility closest to you.
Travel John Holding Tank deodorizer cleaners have been keeping campers happy since 1967, making it the oldest, most reliable solution for RV and marine holding tanks. Travel John packaging is attractive and easy to store for any size rig or scope of adventure. With nearly 100 years of experience, Century Chemical Corp is proud to offer outdoor enthusiasts across the world products that work anywhere, anytime. To learn more, call the number on your screen or visit centurychemical.com.
While I can do just about anything in my RV kitchen that can be done in a stick kitchen, I'm always on the lookout for space savers. That's why when my Aussie pal, Graham Dalton, inventor of Smart Space Cookware, called me to tell me about his new product, I couldn't wait to get my hands on them. Big Down Under in Australia and New Zealand, they're ultra compact, super high quality, and perfect for my RV stovetop, cupboards, and sink, or really any small kitchen or galley. The flagship product is a set of 3 pots. It also includes 1 handle, lids, and silicone stacking mats. The set's a little bit like those nesting dolls where one fits into the other, so let me show you. They're really thick and beefy. The lids fit just so, and the handles are silicone, so it keeps them cool to the touch. The small pot, ta-da, is 1.5 quarts. The medium pot is 2 quarts, and the large pot is 3 quarts. By the way, this is what the silicone stacking mats look like. The pots are coated with an almost catering grade thick Teflon. They have an induction base, so you can use them on induction cookers. And now I want to show you the handles. Here's how they work. The pots have little grooves, one on each side of the pot, where your handle's going to go right into. So I'm going to stick the handle right into that groove, and I'm going to clip it shut. Just like that. It's really easy. To release the handle, you can do so one of 2 ways. There's a button on the top, so you can press the button, or there's a lever on the bottom. You can pull the lever. Just like that. Really easy. Now, when you're holding the handle, say lifting the pot, it can't release, so that's nice and safe. I also have a fry pan. It comes with its own handle, and it's pretty terrific. Same quality, same concept, super cool. We're going to put this cookware to good use today, making a warm and delicious comfort food meal. So when somebody mentions Indian food, it conjures up the idea of complicated recipes, exotic ingredients, and a certain know-how. While that's true for some Indian dishes, it's not for the one I'm going to show you today. We're going to be making yellow split peas with onions and garlic. We'll toast up some flatbread in our Smart Space fry pan, and we'll serve it all with a nice mound of beautiful brown rice. We'll be using ingredients you can get at any grocery store. Yellow split peas, cumin seed, onion, garlic, cayenne pepper, and a little bit of oil. That's it. So let's get cooking. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add 3 tablespoons of avocado oil to our Smart Space cookware pan. This is the 3-quart pan. We want it to get nice and hot. Once the oil starts to shimmer, we're going to add some cumin seed, not cumin powder, this is cumin seed. It's about half a teaspoon. We're going to drop it in. It's going to start to cook in the oil, and in just a moment or 2, it'll start to pop. It'll become very fragrant. In goes the onion. Well, these onions are coming along so nicely. They're almost done. And by the way, I hope you noticed with the Smart Space cookware, the corners are radius edged, so there aren't any hard corners for any food or particles to get stuck. Garlic is up next. Now, a lot of recipes will tell you to add the garlic first and brown it, and then put the onion in. In my experience, when you add the garlic first, it gets very cooked and brown and a little bit bitter by the time you get the onions in and the onions cooked. So I do the onions first and then the garlic. By the way, this is just kind of a rough chopped garlic. Typically in an Indian recipe, they use lentils, but I like to use split peas. I use the yellow, I use the green, because they cook really fast. If you were using lentils, this would cook over an hour, about an hour. Using the split peas, I think we'll get it cooked in about half that time. So I'm going to put 1 cup of yellow split peas. And now we're going to add the liquid. In this case, we're going to add water. I've got some spring water. I'm going to add 3 cups. Well, these little beauties have come to a boil. We're going to leave the lid on. We're going to turn it all the way down, and we're going to let them simmer. We're going to cook them until the yellow split peas are nice and soft, and everything's going to be kind of a delicious stew. Well, it's been about 35 minutes, maybe a little bit more, and I think that we're almost ready. And you can see that our yellow split peas are nice and soft. I'm going to mix in a little bit of salt and a little bit of cayenne pepper. It's the final touch, and we'll just let that slightly bubble while we make our flatbread. Okay, we're heating up our fry pan, and what I've got here, some Trader Joe's flatbread. Really simple and delicious. This is frozen. So I've got my olive oil mister. I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil on my flatbread, not a whole lot, just a little bit like that. Some salt, some pepper. Perfect. Here you have it, our fabulous yellow split pea, onion, and garlic Indian dish. It's warm, comforting, really easy, right? And it's good for you. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. We'll see you again right here next time. Cheers.
Together with our partners at GoPower, we are jumping into 2024 with our big kickoff spring contest. If you're looking to add or expand your solar power capabilities, then this grand prize is for you. The prize package is valued at $2,000 and includes a 130-watt portable solar kit, a 100 amp-hour lithium battery, and a battery manager kit. We're also giving away 5 battery manager kits, 1 each week, for 5 weeks. For additional information and to enter the contest, visit our website at rvingtoday.tv and click on the contest link. RVing Today is powered by GoPower. Dreaming about owning a hard-side travel trailer but don't have a place to store it? Well, how about in your garage? That's right. Trailmanor travel trailers are engineered with a cantilever system that allows you to open it up or fold it down in just about 5 minutes. And when it comes to interior comfort and amenities, Trailmanor has it all. To check out their full line of travel trailers and find the nearest dealer, visit trailmanor.com. Want more RVing Today? Then visit rvingtoday.tv. Besides our weekly show and extended segments, you'll find additional stories and videos along with insightful information on what's new and what's happening around the world in RVing. From luxury RVs to unique camper vans, and from RVing with pets to RVing with kids. You'll find it all and more in rvingtoday.tv.
Anytime we're traveling, safety is a top priority. There's a little something that we do to make sure that nothing goes awry later on down the road. While we don't have a hard and fast checklist per se, all it amounts to is a simple inspection, a walk around of the vehicle. We count the parts more or less. Now you have to get out of the vehicle and stretch your legs anyway, so as you're stretching your legs on your way to the restroom, for example, stop in, take a look at all your hardware that you need to, and you can make sure things are going okay with the rest of the vehicle. We'll show you what we do. Stop number 1 is your tow vehicle's tires. Now it's a little hard to tell with today's modern radial tires if a tire is low pressure or not because there's a little bit of a bulge on the bottom of a radial anyway. But you can stop, take a look, give them a thump, make sure that they're up to pressure, check them with your tire gauge, and just give a quick visual inspection of all the lug nuts and make sure it doesn't look like anything is wearing loose. Next stop, and I don't suppose there's any need to tell you why this is important, is your equalizing hitch. Take a look at everything. Make sure that it looks like it did when you started out in the morning. Check the spring bars, make sure they still feel tight. Maybe your lock for the hitch. Chains are all where they ought to be. Plug is still in tight. Everything looks good here, but it doesn't hurt a bit to stop and take a minute to just check the parts. You know, it's such an easy thing to do, and it can save you huge grief down the road. Next up are your tires and wheels. Look for low inflation pressure, check for any signs of damage. Hold your hands kind of near the hubs to feel how warm they are. If you're real careful to avoid being burned, touch the wheel or hub gently to find out if they're all running about the same temperature. If one of the hubs feels really warm compared to the others, it could mean that the bearings are going bad, and that would call for a stop at a service center at your nearest convenience. For this part of the walk around, a digital infrared thermometer comes in really handy. These are inexpensive, they can cost about $50 or less. This is a Fluke Model 62, it costs about 80 bucks. It includes a digital readout of temperature, and it has a laser pointer to show you exactly where you're measuring the temperature. You aim it at the surface you want to measure, and you instantly get a precise readout of the temperature. This particular style of wheel has a space in between the spokes that allows direct access to the brake drums. And that allows you to take your digital thermometer and take a reading directly off the brake drum to see how the temperature is running. Brake drums are another indicator of the health of your chassis. If one of the drums is significantly cooler than the others, it could mean that brake is not being applied. At the same time, if one drum is really hotter than the others, that could mean that that brake is dragging, and either situation calls for a stop at a service center. While you're walking around your RV, check these guys out. Make sure that they're securely tight. How often have you been going down the freeway and you've seen these things flapping open in the wind, maybe with a sewer hose or extension cord or something hanging out and banging all over the place? You don't really need that. Next item, you come around back, just take a quick look at both of your tail lights and make sure that nothing has happened to them, breaking out or anything. And is this guy tight? More or less. You know, it's really amazing how many RV manufacturers consider a spare tire an option on an RV. Kind of blows our minds sometimes. Wheels on this side are okay. Just take a look around. If there's anything you can see that's a moving part, that's what you ought to consider. Make sure that the awning is in tight. All these little compartment doors need to be shut. Entry door, it's good and tight. Steps are folded up where they ought to be. Awning on this side looks like it's tight. And the compartment is tight. It really doesn't take long to walk around the rig as you stop and just give all this stuff a check. A couple of minutes is what you'll spend, and you'll save yourself a lot of hassle later on down the road and give yourself a safer trip. With your inspection out of the way, you can hit the road with confidence.
Travel John Holding Tank deodorizer cleaners have been keeping campers happy since 1967, making it the oldest, most reliable solution for RV and marine holding tanks. Travel John packaging is attractive and easy to store for any size rig or scope of adventure. With nearly 100 years of experience, Century Chemical Corp is proud to offer outdoor enthusiasts across the world products that work anywhere, anytime. To learn more, call the number on your screen or visit centurychemical.com.
Paws on Board is brought to you by Jones Natural Chews, American sourced and made in America.
Welcome to RVing Today's Paws on Board. I'm Dr. Fitz, and this is Sammy. Does your dog eat things he shouldn't? Unfortunately, this is a common problem that veterinarians deal with on an almost daily basis. Dogs eat everything from socks, rocks, human medication, and everything in between. Some of these things can pass through without causing too much of a problem. You're good. However, some items can be life-threatening for your dog. In this episode, I'm going to discuss common items that your dog may eat and what you should do if it happens to you. The main worry we have as veterinarians is the item toxic? For example, your dog may eat animal bait that's been left out. Usually these baits are really tasty and all too enticing for your pet. Dogs also have a habit of finding their way into our prescription medications or over-the-counter pain relievers. In any of these situations, we want the item out of the stomach as soon as possible. A little later, I'll discuss how this is done and what you can do when you're traveling. Whether or not your pet vomits the item, you should get in contact with a veterinarian or pet poison control immediately. Time is of the essence in these cases. If you have it, the label that came with the bait or the medication and how much of it that you think your pet ate can be extremely helpful. Keep in mind that some baits and medications can be life-threatening for your pet. Generally, there will be some type of blood work needed and potentially hospitalization depending on the situation. Another common toxin that pets find extremely tasty is antifreeze. Antifreeze tastes very sweet to your pet but can be deadly with only a few tablespoons. Especially if you're traveling in an RV, make sure that your antifreeze is put away and you've thoroughly cleaned up any spills. You can try to make your pet vomit after they drink antifreeze, but getting them to a veterinarian for testing is vital. Antifreeze can cause kidney failure within a matter of days, and once your pet starts to feel sick, their likelihood for survival is lower. With antifreeze, prevention is the best medicine by keeping it out of reach of your pet. Another worry we have as veterinarians is, will this item get stuck? Sometimes we get lucky and small items like socks, underwear, or small pebbles can pass through. But more often than not, your smelly hiking socks that your dog just had to eat, or that tasty looking rock over there, get stuck. A blockage of the GI tract will make your pet very sick. They'll usually vomit, stop eating and defecating, and become extremely lethargic. Sometimes we can make your pet vomit the item back up, or give them a bulky meal to help the item pass through. However, you should contact your veterinarian for advice based on the individual situation. For instance, if an item has sharp edges, it may cause more damage coming out than it did going in. Every situation is different. So how can you make your pet vomit when they have eaten something bad? In a Season 1 episode of Paws on Board, I detailed items you should have in a pet first aid kit. Included in that kit was 3% hydrogen peroxide and a syringe. The peroxide will be used as a stomach irritant to make your dog vomit their stomach contents. This can be life-saving if you're not able to get to a veterinarian quickly. The general dose of peroxide is about 1 teaspoon per 5 pounds of body weight, but we generally don't give more than 3 tablespoons at a time. Once you give the dose, wait about 15 minutes. If your dog has not vomited, you can repeat the dose one more time. If your pet still does not vomit, bring them to a veterinarian, as we have other medications that can more effectively cause vomiting. Keep in mind that inducing vomiting is usually only effective within the first few hours after ingestion. So if it's been longer than that, your pet should be brought in for evaluation. Some final notes. You should not induce vomiting if your pet is acting sleepy or lethargic, as this can be very dangerous for them. You should also not induce vomiting if your pet has ingested chemicals such as bleach or other strong cleaning solutions. These can actually cause serious burns on their way back out. As I said earlier, our canine friends love to eat a variety of things, which make every situation different. When in doubt, contact a veterinarian or reach out to ASPCA Pet Poison Control at 888-426-4435. For more information about traveling safely with your pets, visit RVingToday.tv. Tune in next time for more pet health information. I'm Dr. Fitz. This is Sammy. Thanks for watching Paws on Board.
More information on anything you saw in this week's episode, along with additional videos, interesting stories, and RV news, visit our website at rvingtoday.tv. This has been another fun production